Hi everybody, it's Angel Shaver, Stampin' Up Independent Demonstrator from Kansas. And I am in my new video space that is specifically for doing my videotaping. The problem is, it is in the basement. And the black that you see behind you, that's all soundproofing, so hopefully nobody will bother us. But that also means I have to make sure I have everything I need before I come down. Well, guess what? I didn't. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I prepared my entire bag full of stuff. I thought I had everything. I got down here. It took me 15 minutes to travel from the first floor to the basement. Don't ask. But I got down here. I don't have my stamp blocks, my clear blocks. I don't have my card base. So I think we're going to craft what we can do right now. And then I'll go back upstairs, get those things, come back down here at some point tonight and finish the card. We're in a new month. So that means a new featured stamp set. We are featuring Beautiful Friendship. I want to call it trees, beautiful trees, but this is called the Beauty of Friendship. And my husband told me, he heard on the radio, that yesterday was the beginning of Halloween season. So I was going to make a Halloween card today, or at least a fall card, but I just couldn't do it because I've always grown up thinking that the summer season runs from Memorial Weekend through Labor Day weekend, and Labor Day weekend is happening this weekend. So we're still in summer, and my trees are still green. I don't know what color your trees are, but we are going to make a card featuring green leaves. So let me get you pointed down and we'll get started. I don't know how much I'll do because I forgot my stamp block, the cardstock, and my adhesive paper for running it through the die cutting machine. So we'll see, but we'll at least get started. Okay, let me pull it up on the computer. And I don't know if you can see it, but I brought my little caddy with my adhesives and my scissors and my bone folder, but I didn't bring the things I need those for. So we're gonna do some die cutting because I did bring that down, and we are going to use the Beautiful Trees dies. This is named the way I think the whole sweet bundle, whatever, should be named. And we will be cutting out a big tree. So brand new. I've not used all of these before. And a couple of the smaller tree. And then we'll also be cutting out the leaves to put on the tree, plus the detail leaves. I think we can manage these without the adhesive sheets. That's what I wanted the adhesive sheet for, but I think there's enough space to put some drops of the multi-purpose glue in there. Okay, I'm gonna switch things up a little bit, just move them so that I can get my stamp and cut and emboss going. This sky paper will be the layer on our card base, so we can build everything up on here. I did bring all the plates needed. Have the base plate and the die cutting plate, and then the die plate, the cutting plate, and then we'll put our paper on there, and we'll do the next die plate. Okay, I'm gonna see how we can do the trees themselves. Let me do this the other direction so you can see what I'm doing. All right, you have the large tree, and we're going to do 2 of the smaller tree. Trying to figure out the best way to run this through to use all the paper. Do that, and I'm gonna do that. And let me put the other cutting plate on top, and then we'll send this through. I'm gonna move my stamp pad because we're not stamping right now, and hopefully that will keep my stamp and emboss from moving around so much. All right, here we have the larger tree and the smaller tree, and we need one more smaller tree with the trunk and branches. I'm hoping I can get it out of this piece of paper. Well, we're gonna cover up the top anyway with its leaves, so it doesn't matter if we have a little bit of the top missing. Oops. we managed to get 3 trees out of that one piece of Designer Series paper. And then we're going to cut out the leaves. For the smaller tree, we are using, well, for the big thing, we're using this Designer Series paper sheet, and we're also doing 2 of the smaller sets of leaves with it as well. And here we have them for the larger tree and for one of the smaller trees. And then we're going to cut out for the smaller trees another one, because we have 2 of those. There's our second set of leaves for the smaller tree. And then the only other thing we have to cut out right now is this set of detail leaves, which will go on top. And we're doing them with the different shades of green. Maybe there's a little yellow that's starting to peek its way in. I think we'll do it up here. I'm going to send that through. I also didn't bring my foam brush down here, so we'll just get that out the old-fashioned way. To do this. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna need a card base that's vertical or horizontal, so maybe that's why I haven't done it yet. I don't know. But we are going to put the big tree right there. And the 2 smaller trees right beside it. All right, there is the horizontal tree. And I'll put the sentiment up here. Or do you like the vertical tree, where we have the big tree, and then the two smaller ones, and the sentiment goes up here. I'm thinking horizontal. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is glue down my tree. There is my big tree. And then I'm going to put on this layer of leaves, followed by this layer of leaves. I think I'm going to just glue this flat because we still have the smaller trees to get on there. Slide it up just a bit to cover the branches at the top. And then there are places to put some glue on this one. So I'm just putting little dots of multi-purpose glue, and that will keep it right where it belongs. Okay, and now I'm going to glue down the smaller trees. It will go right there. Getting glue on my table. And then we'll put this one down. And now for the dimensionals. Just we can pop up the leaves on these trees. fingers are not working today. Okay. There's that tree. Dimensionals don't slip and slide as well as the glue. And here's the other set of leaves. Right there on that tree. And then do a little snipping along the edge. And here we have what we've done so far. The bigger tree with the two smaller trees. This is where I'm going to end part 1. Somehow I turned the light off because I didn't know when I was coming back down here. But it didn't take me that long. I gathered my stuff. We are going to finish the card. I have a piece of old olive cardstock cut hot dog style, or hamburger style, sorry, which is 8.5 by 5.5. So you take an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and just chop it in half hamburger style. And we are going to use the bone folder and get that folded over. Okay, that's our card base. We're going to do some stamping, and it won't be on our card layer. It will be on this piece of basic white. And we're using the Mossy Meadow ink. I chose to use the sentiment that says, I believe in you. We're just going to stamp it down here. That did not stamp cleanly, so I'm going to do it over here in the middle. And we will see which one of the rectangles we're going to use to cut that out here in a minute. On the inside of the card base, I wanted to stamp another image. And we're doing it also in Mossy Meadow. Friendships refresh the soul. I'm just gonna do that right there. And there it is. Put my ink away for now. Move this for now. We're going to figure out which die we're going to use to cut this out. I think this is too skinny. Yep. So we're going to use this die right here. we're going to do what the sentiment with that die, and then again a second time with the Misty Moonlight cardstock. So let me hop this up here. Scoot some things over. And then we have again the base plate, then the die plate, and one cutting plate. And then we have the sentiment. So line up our frame for that. And put the other cutting plate on. We have I Believe in You, and then we will do the same shape with the Misty Moonlight. Let that through. And the other cutting plate. Throwing dies everywhere. But I didn't lose them, which is good. And then we'll put everything all back together. Think on this card front layer, I'm going to put down the Misty Moonlight layer first. Then the I Believe in You. And I think, again, I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on that. And we're going to stagger it just a bit. Okay. And then we will glue the card front layer to the card base, and we'll be done. See that little dimensional paper hiding? Here is our card for the day. I believe in you. Friendships refresh the soul. And I will be back here next Thursday at 2 o'clock to work on another card from Beauty of Friendship. See you then.